Greetings. Some tips concerning the high-pass filter from West Finga scene and concerning filters in general. We will talk about the use of it, the use of this little mod box. Nothing complicated, but it's useful. And the setup and everything, okay, and some example. So first, the setup. I send all the tracks of my dub to the filter by a subgroup. So I just have to switch a subgroup 4 and it goes into the filter, okay. And the setup in detail is the subgroup 4 go directly into the channel 1, this channel, okay. So when I send one track into the bus 4, it goes through the cable and go back in here on the channel 1. But on the subgroup insert point, you have an insert point, so it's 3-point jack, and with a stereo jack you can put an effect. So the filter is wired at the insert point of the subgroup out, okay? And also, for the use of the trick, just a little detail talking about cable and machine, so I will be quick. The filter got some asymmetrical output and input. It means you just need some 2-point jack with tip and sleeve to wire them, okay? And the insert point on desk are like this, asymmetrical for in and out. So that's why it's good to put the filter on this kind of point, because because it's okay. I don't want to explain why. Second point, most of the desk inside circuitry are in symmetrical. It means all the input or output you could wire this kind of jack with the same plug at the two ends, okay? It's like a stereo jack. And you have 3 points. You have the hot, the cold at the ring, the hot at the tip, and the sleeve, it's the ground, okay? And what we can do trick with this kind of connection, we can swap the tip and the ring at the two ends of the cable, okay? And it will make this cable a reverse phase cable. I will explain. In this cable here, it's red cable is on the tip, white on the ring, and the earth is here, okay? So at one point I have red at the tip, white at the ring, and on the sleeve the ground. And at the other point I do the opposite. At the other side of the cable I put white on the tip, red on the ring, and the ground on the sleeve, okay? So it makes a reverse phase cable. Very useful to do some tricks, because when you put one signal and the same signal reverse phase, you cancel every of the frequency. But if in the pass of this reverse phase out we have a filter, things become interesting. So let's first hear the filter as it is built by default, okay? Just the filter. I pass, so I switch on, and it I pass the signal, okay? Okay, normal. So now we will do this signal plus at the same time the dry signal of the track. So I switch them on. Okay, let's start again. Now we have the dry signal of my track and the return of the filter in high pass, normal out. Okay, so this is a normal use of the filter. What we'll do, I switch off the normal out of the filter and I switch on the opposite phase out, okay? The copy I do with the cable I solder, okay? So first I launch the dry signal and I will switch on the output reverse phase of the filter. For the moment, just dry signal. Now I will switch on the opposite phase out of the filter. Listen. Okay, most of the frequency are cancelled. There's some little frequency, we hear music, but most of the frequency are cancelled. I switch it off. This is the normal volume of the music. I switch it on. Okay, most of the frequency cancelled. So let's move the filter now. Do you hear this? It sounds like a low pass filter. Okay, it sounds like a low pass filter. I switch off this out. I have all the music. I switch on and it works like a low pass. Okay? So now we know if we addition the dry signal and the signal from the filter in reverse phase, we have this filter sounding like a low pass. Okay, so you have two filters in one. So the next point will be about this little box. In some track, some of the frequency are very peaky. Okay, let's go back into the normal phase out. So I switch off the opposite phase out, and I switch on normal phase out. Okay. Let's put the volume of the filter to here. Okay, for example, here it's ringing. When I switch on this box, yeah, it reduces the resonance of this ringing. Switch off. Switch on. Okay. For the explanation, to show you how it's simple, thanks to Seb West Finga for the explanation. This potentiometer is used as a resistor, okay? And the 2 points of this are linked to the hot point and the cold point of the output. I mean, there's two wires that go into the socket, the jack socket. There's the red one and the black one for hot and cold. And those one, this pot is linked between those 2 points, okay? And this switch on the pass through the pot or switch off the pass through the pot. And the second switch is I take a stereo pot and I solder inside for when I switch here, it put the two sides of the stereo pot in parallel and increase the resistance, okay? So if I set it up at the right place, I can have full resonance with no switch, dump resonance, and I can even dump it a bit more if I need, okay? Let's just play. Now you know you can have a duplication of the out of the filter to make it a low pass, okay? And you have the two out and possibilities, so you can even play with this. You switch on the opposite phase and you switch on the normal phase. And you play with the balance. You know, at the right balance now, we can't hear the filter, it is on, okay? But my in phase out and out of phase out are really well balanced, simple. Let's move the volume now on the pan. you push this technique to the top, okay, you cancel or you make it sound like a low pass when it's mixed with the dry signal. Okay, but when you find this balance point, you can also switch on the two out. At a balance point, the signal will cancel, but if you reduce the volume of the reverse phase, you will cancel just some of the frequency. Just an example for you to hear what I'm talking about. Okay. So now in this example, I launch the dry signal, and I will switch on the first output of the filter in phase, and switch on the second output of the filter, which is out of phase. Okay. And the signal cancel because they are well balanced. Okay. We barely don't hear it, and it's on. We hear it a little now. Is the resonance. Okay. So let's reduce a bit the output from the balance point. Okay, I remove, then I have one kind of filter. If I cut it totally, I have this. I add 50% of the reverse phase now. So you can play with this